Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of Aqua Alex Live. Today, I'm going to be interviewing a fellow monster fish keeper who also lives in South Florida, and it's going to be a wonderful interview. So, first and foremost, I want to thank you all for tuning into this episode of Aqua Alex Live. I hope you enjoy it. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring on my special guest. Who I am very thankful for having time to come on the show today. So it is my honor and my pleasure to welcome our special guest today. Jacob, how are you doing today, sir?
Hey, I'm good, Alex. What's up?
Thank you for taking the time to being on today's show. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
So if you could, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm 19 years old. I'm from South Florida, Miami, and I got into fish keeping like around 14 years old, or 12 to 14 years old. Started with like a 10 gallon, upgraded to 20 long, 55 gallon for a couple years. Kept some monster fish, and then I finally upgraded to a 180 and like a 600 gallon pond for the backyard, and that's how I met Alex, picking up one of his fish for my pond.
That's awesome. We'll talk about that in a few moments here. But if you are watching live, I appreciate your live views. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comments below, and I'll ask them for you during today's live stream. So I know you just touched on it a little bit, but how did you get into the aquarium hobby?
I started watching YouTubers like Pacu, Zach Catchum, Joy Sam, Blake's Exotic, Predatory Fins, and I was always into animals. Like I begged my mom for a dog since I was like 5 years old. I had chickens. I have dogs. I've had chickens. I've had turkeys. I've had birds, parrots, everything. And I finally started keeping fish around 12 years old, maybe 14, like entering high school. And I loved it. It was, people don't realize how interactive fish can be. They think you just look at them, which is the best part about it. Like, yeah, sure, you could throw a ball to a dog, but just keeping fish there, feeding them, like they're little baby steps you can make, getting them to feed for the first time, getting them to hand feed, getting them to swim around and get excited when you come in the room. There's rewarding parts about keeping fish that people don't realize until they get into it.
I agree 100% with you. So it sounds like you have a wide love of animals: chickens,
Yeah.
fish, turtles.
Yeah.
That's cool. I have a dog also. I like dogs and fish too.
Yeah, I had a snapping turtle for, actually, when I got into the hobby, I had my 55 and a 10 gallon. I had goldfish in the 10, and then in my 55 I had Oscars and Bichers. And I bought a 40 gallon for this little snapping turtle from a local reptile shop. And throughout my whole fish hobby the past 5 years, I've just been raising him. And it's crazy how much you could do with just like a tank, a filter, and a heater. Like you could keep all these different axolotls, turtles. I've had everything. I've had axolotls as well. And yeah, so the turtle passed like a month ago, but it was like a mark on like my progress throughout the fish hobby.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Turtles are pretty cool. I'd like to have a fly river turtle someday.
Yeah, that's my dream turtle as well. Fly river turtle. Ever since I saw Predatory Fins, his albino one, I've always wanted one.
Nice. I'm not sure if they're legal in Florida or not, but we can probably hope for one.
Yeah, you need a license for in Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is, what were some of your first fish? I think you touched on it a little bit.
Yeah, I've had, honestly, what got the fish that got me into it were Oscar. Well, okay, let me go back a little. I started fishing before keeping fish. So I would catch peacock bass, largemouth, all that. And my friend had a 30-gallon tank, a small tank, and every time we'd catch a small peacock bass, we'd always put it in his tank. And like I got fascinated with it and would beg my mom for a pond or a tank, and she said no because it's not something like I'd keep up with. Um, but I ended up convincing her, and then I got my first tank, and I couldn't get my hands on a peacock bass small enough for my tank, so I went with the next next fish with the most personality, and it was the Oscar. So I kept like two Oscars from like an inch and grew them out for a year. And unfortunately, since I was a beginner hobbyist, I did a bad water change and that tank passed. But that was what got me into it and what like helped me gain knowledge with fish keeping.
That's awesome. Yeah, Oscars seem to be everyone's first fish for people that are into monster fish.
Yeah, it's like the transition from like mollies and guppies to and little betas to Oscars, and then you go to arowanas and bass and all that.
Yeah, I call like the mollies and guppies feeder fish.
Yeah, they're little.
I can't say the other stuff I call them because
Yeah.
I might get offended. So, what would you say are some of your favorite fish species?
um, my favorite fish that I've never had, never owned for a day, nothing was is an arowana, and we'll probably talk about it later. But I think I'll be getting one soon. But from favorite that I've kept, which to start, obviously the Oscar got me into the hobby. I've had multiple peacock bass, wild caught and from shops. Temensis peas, cowberries. I like Temensis a lot. Bisers are cool, bowfins, but my favorite fish now at the moment that I never even knew about it until recently are giant gouramis. I just think they have like an Oscar personality, but they're just so different looking.
Nice. I've kept everything that you mentioned. The peacock bass, they're an interesting species.
Yeah.
I haven't had them in a couple of years, but I'm thinking when I get a bigger tank, I'll get some more of them. The giant gouramis are absolutely beautiful. I think you should get a red tail giant gourami.
Yeah, right now I don't know what it was labeled at. I got it at the fish shop. They just said it was a giant gourami, but I'll show you a picture after. But I think it might be a red tail giant gourami. I had an albino as well that passed recently from the fish farm near my house as well.
Nice. Yeah, giant gouramis are pretty cool. I think
Yeah,
you'll like them. It's a shame you haven't had arowana yet. Those are pretty interesting.
yeah. I, we'll we're gonna get one soon, hopefully.
Oh, cool. So, my next question for you is, what do you have for aquariums and fish currently?
Currently, I have a 180 gallon, which is my main tank. With, I'll tell you what it's stocked with right now. It's like five Oscars, four gold red severum, small, like 4 inches, 3 inches. I have a true parrot cichlid, a blood parrot, a giant gourami, an Ennisherry, two albino Asian red tail catfish that are also some of my favorite fish now, and a couple Raphael catfish and some fish that I just throw in when people are rehoming them in my like fish chat.
Nice.
I also have sorry, I forgot. I have right here I have the 20 long with a clown knife, two rainbow cichlids, a synodontis, and and a couple corridors, but I have a 55 gallon and 40 gallon not in use right now, and then my 600-gallon main pond with all the monsters.
Nice. I'm surprised you didn't say you had a community aquarium yet. Usually, when people are dating, their girlfriend wants a community.
Oh no, she has that at her house. She has my axolotl there, and she had like a couple tetras. Actually, most of the fish in this tank are hers. That she's just not keeping fish at the moment.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah,
maybe you can convince her to become a monster fish keeper.
Yeah. Set up a pond in our house or something.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
So, what do you like personally about monster fish?
I mean, the interaction with large fish is completely different with the interaction with smaller fish. Like, there's some smaller fish that will eat from your hand or even like eat top water because some small fish like refuse to eat top water. But the interaction you can do with giving a whole tilapia fillet to your monster red tail to whatever monster fish that get over a foot. Um, yeah, it's just like it's captivating how big they get, and it's because of you that they get that big. You feeding them these fillets every day, 3 times a day if you want. It's all up to you.
Nice, I definitely agree with that. I think monster fish are the most personable of all fish, especially things like red-tailed cats and
Yeah.
arowanas, tiger shovelnose, and even gars.
Yeah, no, I have a gar as well in my pond, a spotted gar. Now I'll go through the stocking in there. I have a couple red devils, your red tail catfish, the tiger shovelnose hybrid. I had two largemouth bass that I just threw back in my lake in behind my house. Um, and yeah, the gar and like a couple Oscars that I kind of might have to remove from there with that red tail hunting them.
Sadly, eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
And I remember you told me that he swallowed one of your Oscars recently.
yeah. He swallowed, digested, and spit it out.
Yeah, it sounds like the pectoral fin of the Oscars what stopped him from eating it.
Yeah, probably.
But that happens with red tail cats. I had him with smaller fish. He never eat them in my tank, but I think it's because he's in like a much bigger space now. His wild instincts are coming back.
Yeah, and also it's outdoors, so the temperature's probably like gets to like 88. They get into feed mode at that temperature because get more active. So yeah, I'm sure he's gonna keep messing with all of the smaller fish, but it's no
That's
big deal.
true. You might notice he doesn't have gill cross because he's wild caught.
Yeah.
I don't like buying captive red monster fish much.
It depends. I like the captive red just because usually they not. I don't know for red tails, but usually for other fish like bass, they eat better. They usually eat more top water. They're more personable. But I think with red tails, honestly, I think they're all personable, and they'll all eat from your hand if you eventually. But I'm not really knowledgeable about which are better, captive or wild.
Yeah, they're pretty much all the same, just the genetics and whether they're captive bred or wild caught. So they're pretty much the same fish.
Yeah.
So I know that you've already named one species that you haven't had yet, but what are some fish that you have not kept and want to get someday?
Okay. So going off from monster fish, I definitely eventually want to have a pond dedicated to goldfish. Just because out of all the smaller fish, they're the most personable. But I've had goldfish, but that's something a project that I want to do eventually when I have an extra giant area to put them. But from fish that I'd like to keep that I haven't, datnoids, um, Danoids. I don't know. I can't remember the name, but you've been to Malone's. The fish that swim top water, like their eyes are always top water.
Oh, four blips.
Yes, those are awesome, but I think you need a license for those. Um, I haven't had any arowana, so if somehow a silver arowana, albino arowana, um,
I could get you an arowana.
yeah, I'm trying to think of other fish. I think. Oh, I've also never had a tiger shovelnose, like a pure tiger shovelnose, and not a lot of the other monster catfish, like Paraiba, the other monster catfish, the man eating catfish. So eventually, keeping one of those would be pretty cool.
I should have gave you my tiger shovelnose instead of that idiot that came and picked them up.
Yeah, no, that guy. That story is for, for another day.
Yeah. If I had known that, I would have just gave them to you.
Yeah, but a Tiger Shovelnose would be cool. I'm not really getting into. If I find them at like 10 inches plus, I'll get them. But I'm not really trying to grow out fish anymore. It's just a little with because they'd be going in my 180, and there are a lot of fish that like picking on each other. Like those Asian red tails, will take a 5 inch Tiger Shovelnose back fin or something. They're always chasing everyone around in there. So I don't really keep too many bottom swimmers. Like the endless sherry is the only fish that they don't mess with.
Yeah, that's true. The Asian red tails, they're pretty cool, but they're aggressive. That's why I never kept them.
Yeah, I honestly I find that I haven't kept one, but I find that since I'm keeping two, they'll chase each other more than they'll chase anything else. But they're cool, dude. You throw in sinking pellets, they're eating for hours, bro. Like I swear, their stomachs get massive. I also forgot. Now that I'm remembering, my favorite fish, maybe that I own that I didn't mention, was the 18-inch albino iridescent shark. That the one I sent you a video, I think, of him hand feeding. That one's one of my favorite, and I have two in my 180.
Nice. Iridescent sharks are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're kind of they're not they're the peacefulest monster fish, but they're still super cool.
Pretty much like pacus.
Yeah, I've never kept a pacu, but I've heard they're trouble, so that's why I'm not getting into it.
Not really. They're not really trouble. They just get big quick.
But I've heard they're aggressive. Like you need that's why it's better to have a pond with no corners because they'll just put a fish in a corner and then bite at him.
It
I'm not
depends.
sure.
It depends. I have two that are pretty peaceful right now, but they could
Yeah,
change if they get bigger.
yeah, with those piranha teeth. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. If I'm sure if I keep it from small, it'll be fine. But I haven't taken the risk yet.
Well, maybe once mine get too big, I'll give them to you.
Yeah, especially because they're probably communized. They won't be too aggressive.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. Generally with pacus, if you keep them by themselves, they can be aggressive. They're a schooling fish. They like to be in schools.
Yeah, they're a species of piranha, right?
They're cousins of piranhas. They're actually like
Okay.
they're in the family of silver dollars, and they're like
Okay.
vegetarian piranhas, but they get bigger.
Yeah. No, they get massive.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah, they get the size of like a semi truck tire. Bro, with the same dimensions and everything, just a straight circle.
Yeah, that is true. Although there is supposedly a smaller species of pacu called the yellow belly pacu, but I haven't seen any of them.
I've heard of people keeping them. I've never seen them at a shop or nothing. I've seen the albino pacu and just a regular pacu.
Yeah, pacus are interesting.
Yeah.
So we mentioned it earlier. I actually met you when you came to pick up my foot long or 13-inch red tail cat. And I'm really glad that it was you that got him because he's in a great home now. So how are you liking the red tail?
He's honestly been pretty good. He it took a couple days for him to eat just because like when he was already settled in, I did a big water change, so it stressed him out a little bit too. But for the past 3 days, he's been eating tilapia, fillets, everything. He's been good. My dream fish because I've kept he was my dream fish always. Like I forgot to mention a red tail catfish. I've kept multiple and honestly they're hardy fish, but it depends because I it seems every time I get one, it comes with hole in the head. It comes with something ridiculous. But I kept a 10-inch one for a long time, not as thick as the one you gave me. And he was nice. He wasn't as personable as yours, but he passed. I don't know. The guy who gave me him, he was a little weak when I got him, but he passed. But I still knew I wanted a red tail. But yours is really like it already has the proportions of a monster. It's like as thick as it is long. So yeah,
Yeah, that's the difference between a captive bred and a wild cut. The wild cuts, they bulk up really quickly. As captive bred, they take a little while longer.
okay, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why places like Predatory Fins and Malone's they'll tend to bring in the wild caught before they get the captive bred because they know people will buy the wild caught quicker.
Okay. I had no idea that people were into. I mean, there's a reason, but why wild caught sell more than the captive. I thought it was just they're similar.
They are similar. They are very similar. If you weren't experienced and didn't have a trained eye, you would think they were both the same.
Yeah,
Practically, they are both the same.
just a growth rate.
Differences, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could imagine the growth rate on a wild caught fish is way bigger than one on a captive.
Also, one of the best things about wild caught is they'll usually eat right away because when they're shipped here, they're starved for like a week.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. Because just these backyard breeders are throwing all the freaking food in from one day to the next. I mean, I've never really been to. I don't know if you have either, but I've never been to a place that actually sells the fish they breed.
No, I haven't actually. That's actually a good point.
But that would be awesome. I'll take my business there. Just seeing that. There is a fish farm near me that I was telling you about, the one that's really good, called Summerlin Fish Farm, and he has like massive, like 30 by 30 feet concrete ponds, and he just throws all his Oscars in there and like any other fish. But he has like strictly Oscar ones, and they breed in there all the time, and he sells those. That's one place, yeah. But I've never seen baby red tails at like straight at someone who bred them.
They would need a huge, huge, huge pond for that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know how red tails are, but I feel like they get swallowed up in a pond full of red tails. All those the little babies.
Yeah, the likelihood of that is extremely high.
Yeah, that would.
Is it okay if I show some of the clips that you sent me of the red tail
Yeah,
for the viewers? Are you okay with that?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. So these are actually some clips that Jacob sent me a couple days after, or I think it was the same day. I don't remember. But anyways, here are the first video.
Yeah, he looks
Oh,
good.
sorry about that. We're having technical difficulties for some reason. I'll try it one more time. He looks awesome in there. He looks kind of small in there though.
Yeah, definitely a lot smaller than whoa. You had him in a 75.
Yeah, I had him in a 75.
I'm honestly surprised he got that large in a 75. I feel like he would have been stunted. You must have been feeding well.
Yeah, I fed like every day, and I did water changes every other day.
Yeah, no, that worked. That helps. Water change. That's something that when I'm growing fish out, I make sure to keep on with the water changes.
I also keep the pH at, as natural as possible, like 7.0.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
use I use a product from C Chem. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Amazon Blackwater extract.
Okay. Yeah. No, I need a. I'll text you after about the things I could do for the pond to grow these fish out.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help you with that.
Okay.
I have another video that you sent me. This one's a little bit better, I think.
Also, something I wanted to add.
Sorry,
Hello.
go ahead.
Something
Yeah,
I
sorry.
wanted to add was for I've had a couple red tails like I told you, and the tails are never that red at that size. Like I've had the 10-inch one, no red at all. It was more like a white, cream white. But that your red tail actually came with his tail pretty red. So I don't know if that has to do with diet or the water, or because he's wild, but definitely interesting.
You're right. That's actually a really good point. I was talking to someone that I'm friends with. He's actually an expert on South American fish, and he didn't know the answer to that either. So it could be that he's wild caught, or maybe it was his diet, or something along those lines.
Yeah. No, but that's awesome. What I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start mixing in the hikari pellets that color the fish up in the fillets, and then so I'll see if that helps with his color.
That's a great idea. I used to do that
Yeah.
too.
Hold on. Let me.
It's okay. No worries. I'm gonna show the next
My
video
da-
anyway. Oh, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
no, no, no. It's good. Show the video. I'm gonna see why the dogs are barking.
Okay.
Okay, we should be good now.
Perfect. Yeah, no worries. Your dogs are just saying hello.
Yeah, no, I think someone was at the door or something.
My dog is sleeping otherwise she's making her presence felt.
Yeah, no, they're two. I have two 90-pound labs, giant labs that go crazy when anyone gets near the house.
Oh, nice. I love Labradors.
Yeah, I have a chocolate one and a black lab.
Very nice. I have a beagle, which is kind of similar to a lab.
Yeah, I like beagles too. And they're vocal too. They howl all day sometimes.
Next time you come over here, I'll introduce you to her.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So my next question for you, I know you're very famous on TikTok, but I think you could become a famous YouTuber. So have you ever had any plans on starting an aquarium YouTube channel?
I actually have a couple. Well, not a couple. I have like hours of footage, filmed on a camera for building the pond, stocking the pond, everything having to do with the pond. I think I have some videos, going to predator fins, feeding his arapaima, and getting a Gopro Catfish. I have a lot of footage stocked up, but I honestly took a break from social media and TikTok around for the past part like 5 6 months, just because I'm a college student now, and honestly it's a little stressful, especially the TikTok, the platform itself, just because how easy it is for people to access your videos. Like, it not only is your fan base viewing your videos, but everyone, it sends it to all the public, so people don't care about what you're doing see it and they put in their 2 cents, and it gets a little stressful, especially when you're not sure how TikTok translates in terms of like money and getting actually being a sustainable income. But I know YouTube is a lot better for that. But I have the footage stocked up, and I want to start soon.
Awesome. I hope to see you on there because I think you could be awesome on it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty good at it, but I think you'd be better at it than I am.
Yeah, it's also good if you go into it without expectations, because if you're just posting because like doing it, you like editing, you like uploading, you like, even if it's like 500 people, 200 people, 80 people seeing your videos, like that's great. Like, even like 10 is great. So when you get that spike from 10 to 80, like it triggers something in your head like that, you're like so happy, but you can't get too high or too low. So yeah, I'm gonna go into it when I'm feel good about it and not really expecting too much from it.
Awesome. Let me know when you do it, and I'll be one of your first fanboys, I guess you could say.
All right. That's funny.
So, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
um well, we could talk about what you're doing right now with fish. We
Sure.
could,
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
yeah. All right, I have questions. I'll be the podcaster.
Okay.
Um, so how many tanks do you have up and running right now?
Me personally, I just have one, unfortunately. The other tank is my dad's, but I am planning on getting a couple more. Definitely at least a 180 or a 220.
Yeah,
I would like to do another saltwater tank in the future.
yeah. A 180. I have a 180. My favorite dimensions for growing out fish, just because of how deep like the width is and all that, and it's also 6 feet. I think 6 feet. Like so, it's like a 125, just double the backdrop. So yeah, it's good. That like helps with aggression and monster fish because how big it is, and and it's not too big like a I don't know like a 350 something crazy. So like you can manage it if you still have to do your things like go to work, do all that. All right, another question.
Sure.
Um, so you're getting fish in, or you just got fish in? What are the fish you got in?
So last week I ordered from Malone's Monsters, or I think he's known as Aquatic Rarities now.
Yeah.
But I got in a couple of vulture catfish, which are kind of similar in personality to red tails and tiger shovelnose. They just don't get as big. I also got a ripsaw catfish, which is an Oxydorus niger,
Hmm.
and a baby arowana, although he got eaten by my other new fish that I got, which is the pariah.
Something funny about that you say, because I went to Malone Aquatic Rarities like I don't know a week ago when I got the clown knife, and I'm trying to think of the other fish. Oh, I got a Temensis and a clown knife, and I saw the vultures, and I'm like, hey, I want a couple of these vultures. He's like, oh, okay. Which ones? I told him the two biggest. He's like, oh, I can't. They're saved for a client who's getting them shipped. So I'm pretty sure they were your vulture catfish.
Oh, that sucks. I would have let him give them to you.
No, I had no idea. I was like, and I couldn't take it because the Asian red tail cats would have messed them up. But the ones you got were like around this size. I was trying to take them. You got how many? Three?
Three, yeah.
Yeah, dude. He told me these three, the three biggest ones, are for a client. So I was like, okay, that's funny though.
Actually,
Now that you said it.
one of them went to my dad. The other two are mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another fish I got from you that we didn't talk about from your dad is the channel catfish. Yeah, that he just threw in with the with the for an extra $10. And I have him in the pond too. He's doing good. He actually chases around some of my fish, which I didn't expect because he's like 7 inches, 6 inches. But he's chasing around all of them.
Nice. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you definitely get some vulture cats. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I honestly haven't heard of them until like a month ago. I know somewhat of them, but seeing them at Malone's, Aquatic Rarities, and Predatory, and I didn't know they get that big because they kind of look like Synodontis, or I think they're called Synodontis, or Pike catfish, something.
Pick this, yeah,
Yeah,
Pimadella.
they look similar to them, so I was like, I just thought, I just thought they were them. But now that I looked up and did my research on them, they get pretty big.
They are pretty much related to the Pictus. You just get like 18 inches.
Yeah, which is insane, especially because of they're not they don't look how the other monster catfish look, like the red tails and the tiger shovelnose.
Personally, I would say 18 inches is kind of a stretch. Probably like the 15 for a vulture.
Yeah. Either way.
Either way, it's still a big catfish.
Yeah. Sorry. Um. Let's see what else. So in the shipment you got the three vultures, and then what else did you say?
A nicer cat and a Armada's pariah.
Okay. How big is a pariah?
He's probably like 3.5 inches, maybe 4 inches.
Yeah, I saw those two. Were another one of my dream fish. But when I saw them in person, I realized like they're not really personable. They're just like nice to look at, and they have like crazy teeth. But yeah, for right now, I'm just not keeping them. But those are one on the bucket list.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought of them as the same way, but I was looking for something that was kind of cool to look at, and a cool fish with teeth that I could keep.
Yeah.
Another fish that I was considering was the red-tailed barracuda, but the pariah was was available at the time, so I got him.
I'm not sure what type of fish they are, but my friend who I buy fish from has a barracuda as well, and those they're sick. When you feed, they're the fastest fish in the tank.
Nice. Yeah, they're pretty cool. They stay
Yeah,
small, like 8 inches though.
yeah. I haven't seen much of them, so that's why I didn't really know about them. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything upcoming projects I have with the fish. I'm not sure. I'm thinking. I honestly the reason I mentioned the goldfish was because that was like most recently on my mind to do, just setting up another like 100 gallon tote or something like a long 6 feet by 2 feet something, and just putting in a bunch of goldfish with a slow filter and just feeding a bunch of flakes top water. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if you're opposed to them because you're all monster catfish. I mean monster fish, but I don't know how you feel about the goldfish.
I don't have any resentment towards goldfish. I've kept them when I was younger. I probably would keep them again in the future.
Yeah, hold on, sorry, because someone
No
called.
problem. You're fine.
I'm
You're
trying
a
to
famous guy now.
I'm trying to navigate back here. But but yeah, you like goldfish, you said?
Yeah, I like the fancier ones and like
Yeah.
blue and stuff.
I like the ones I'm most interested in are the pearl scale, the balloon goldfish. Those are cool. Some of the fancier, like the butterfly telescope, all those. I don't know. The ones that look too fragile, I don't really like. But even the feeder goldfish, like I always see people on offer up or Craigslist. They'll just post all of theirs like 37-inch feeder goldfish for like $10, and I'm always late to. But when I get that next one, I'll bring all of those to the pond. I'm sure a couple of them will be lunch for your red tail, but
Nice. Yeah, some of the goldfish are nice. I like the high, like expensive ones.
yeah. Another fish that I recently kept, but I sold to a friend, was a Gopro Catfish that I told you I picked up at Predator,
Nice.
and they're cool. They're super cool, but I don't know. I just can't dedicate a whole 40-gallon tank to one fish because they can't have any tank mates, like at all.
I'm the very same way. That's why I've never kept gulper cats or anything that has to be kept solitary because I just think it's personally kind of boring to have one tank for one fish.
Especially a fish that's kind of like nocturnal and will rather hide than swim around. Because like I've thought about keeping a tank just for a flower horn or something, but they're kind of have more personality. They don't eat the same, but they have like I think they have a little bit better personality than an Oscar. Just swim around, follow you around your house, and they're pretty. They have nice colors, but I don't know about the price. 150 for like a 4-inch fish that you don't even know how nice it's gonna get, and just keeping it alone in a 55 or even like a bigger tank, a 75, because they get pretty big.
That's true. Personally speaking, I'm not a fan of the flower horns, only because they're not a natural fish. You won't find them like in the Amazon River or anything, but some of them are kind of nice. Just the prices that they fetch are kind of outrageous in my mind.
Yeah, no, ridiculous. Honestly, the prices for a lot of these fish are. And I don't know how long you've been in the hobby, but I've only been in it for 5 years, and seriously buying fish like for 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, and the prices are ridiculous from 3 years ago. Like I used to get buy Oscars $5 each for 4-inch Oscars. Now you can't get an Oscar for under $20. Like, and that's an Oscar. So I'm sure the fish that I wasn't even looking into, like the Temensis or Paraibas or arowanas, were probably a lot cheaper back in the day.
Yeah, I started when I was 12, and I'm now 27, so I have seen a lot of the prices go up over the last couple of years, especially for things like arowanas and Oscars.
Nice. Oscars. I don't see how because they breed so easy. If you have a 55, a 40, and an Oscar and two Oscars, you'll have and a flower pot in there. You'll have Oscars. Like, but arowanas, I don't know how easy they breed, but considering how common they are, like you'd think they'd go for 15 each at this size, especially with the fact that they die every other day, like jump out your tank, just die of unknown reasons. That's something I didn't know. Like when I bought my Kelberry peacock from Malone, um, beautiful fish, man. It was my favorite fish, and I got it from like this, like where he couldn't even eat a mosquito fish, like at all. And 45 for this, I was like, "Ugh, all right, I'll do it. All right, and I raised him out for a month, dude. 4 or 5 inches in a month. Random death. No
Nah.
other death.
Oh, that's sorry
Yeah,
to hear that.
yeah. A random death. I went to Malone's the next week, and I told him, "Hey, I had a Kelberry from you. I'm fine, no hole in the head, no ick, no nothing." And he just passed. He's like, "Yeah, those Kelberries have organ failure." So like, it's just so odd. Like you don't know all the problems that you encounter with these fish. Like I used to not know that arowana you need like the most secure lid ever.
Yeah, arowanas do tend to jump, but usually there's a reason for them jumping, like bad water quality, aggression from other fish, or they've seen an insect or something and they want to get to it.
Yeah. I that was one of my first like really bad experiences with a fish. I had a rope fish. I don't know if you ever kept one, but
I've had them before. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
they're nice. And then come in my room. I wake up for school. Actually, I was in high school. I wake up for school, and I hear almost like a slithering. And then I get out of bed, look under, which right here where I'm sitting is where my 55 used to be. I look under, and this fish is slithering around my room. And I'm not sure how long it's been there because I didn't wake up from the noise. I think it was there for hours. I put him back in, like nothing happened. Like it was insane. And yeah, eventually he jumped out again, and I wasn't home. But definitely a weird fish, a super weird fish.
Yeah, they're related to the lungfish, and they're able to survive out of water for a little while.
Yeah, I've also never had a lungfish.
Lungfish are pretty cool, but they can be kind of aggressive.
Yeah, I've never got into them. Just how lazy they are, right? And I think they just sit there all day.
Yeah,
Come
they're
up for
pretty.
air. They'll come up for air every now and then, but just not something I'm too interested in.
I hear you. They're kind of boring.
Yeah, for that I had my axolotl, who's super boring, and then I gave it to my girl because she was fascinated by him. But yeah, cute animal, I guess, kind of cute, but definitely not the most interactive animal.
Nice. I wonder if axolotls can live with other fish. Well, I know
That's
they're
what.
not fish, but
Yeah, I did a lot of research about that. They said I think they were fine with tetras and stuff, but honestly, once a fish bites those like pink gills that stick out, they're done for. So I didn't even try it. But they do eat fish. Like you could put in little feeder goldfish in their mouth and they'll swallow that.
nice.
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans on getting any new fish soon?
Well, if I do deliver your fish from Malone's on Tuesday next week, I'll definitely buy some fish from there too. And if I'm passing by Predatory, I don't know if they'll let me in because like they're closed that day. But if I do go to Predatory Friends, I'll see what they have. But Malone's definitely he always has something that I'm like.
Yeah, he has good prices too.
Yeah, Malone has really good price. Aquatic rarities, really good prices, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But predatory taxes a little bit.
Yeah, they're pretty. They're good, but their prices are a little bit higher.
Yeah, because he has his people who are gonna buy his fish regardless, so he could tax a little bit. But Malone's has honestly a fish I was eyeing were the pink Chilectus, I think something like that. The
Nice.
pink-tailed Chilectus. I'm getting like 4 of them just to school in my 180. Not to like I don't know how much you could call them a monster fish, but just like an interesting fish to like Like I think they're called like ditherfish, just to like distract the tank.
Yeah, they're good for that. Pink tail
Yeah,
trout. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
yeah. Honestly, it every time I go there, I have to stop myself to not buying his like 9-inch peacock bass, because he always has them just in his pond. He's like, you know what? I'll sell it if you want it. I'm like, I want it, but I'm not. I don't want to pay $90 right now, especially for a fish that. Because I'm in Miami, my backyard is full of peacock bass. Like
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I hear you
I
there.
throw I throw a shiner in there, and I got a whatever size peacock bass I want. But it's interesting, especially since he has him feeding whatever he wants pellets already, so it'll be easy to transfer him.
Nice. So have you ever seen like an alligator in person? Since you
Oh
go
my
fishing
god!
a lot?
I said next time, like if we do another podcast, I'll send the video so you can put up. But we fished in the Everglades because honestly, the first fish I had in my pond were Oscars and Jaguar cichlids, and they were all wild caught, which is funny to say. I think if anyone's watching from like another state, that's probably not a thing, a wild caught Oscar. But here we have wild caught Oscars and Jags. I don't think that's not supposed to be a thing either. And and it's just because they survive in our ecosystem. But I caught like 9. I used to flip them. I used to buy them, not buy them, buy a pack of frozen shrimp, just the Everglades with my buddies, bring 20 home, put them in my 55, and just put them on offer up Craigslist. And people come in $10, even $10. I'm profiting. I made my money back. But yeah, so my pond was stocked with them, and yeah, those were my first fish. But so I'd go to the Everglades. Sorry, I got a little off track. I go to the Everglades, catch those fish, and there are two alligators sitting at your feet, waiting for you to slip up with a fish, drop a fish. And I don't want to incriminate myself because here alligators are protected, but we're supposed to kill the Mayan cichlids and all because they're invasive. And he might end up eating a couple of the Mayans. He might eat some of the Mayans that I can't take home. Yeah, but the park rangers are super cool. Like they're like, dude, I'm not supposed to let you feed them a Mayan, but if it happens, I can't stop you. But yeah, no, just 2 10-foot alligators sitting right there. Always, you have to watch out. If you ever come down here, we could fish that spot. That's a spot I take everyone who comes down here to fish because it's just such an experience.
I would be down for that any day of the week. I want to see an alligator in person.
Yeah. No, it's Miami's funny. It's super funny. We'd be fishing there, and just a couple from like Tennessee, like visiting here, come there, and they're like, "Oh, have you fed them marshmallows?" And we're like, "What are you talking about? Like marshmallow?" They're like, "Oh, alligators love marshmallows," and then they pull out of their car just a giant jet puff marshmallow bag, and they're just tossing marshmallows nonstop to these alligators, and they're eating them. It's funny. The Everglades and Miami is funny. It's definitely interesting for fish keeping. It's like the oracle of fish keeping.
Nice.
Yeah, but there's definitely some funny experiences that I've had here.
Yeah, a lot of people were telling me since I moved down here I should have seen them, but I haven't seen one where I am currently.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not as common like alligators as the internet makes them out to be here. There, if you go to the Everglades, yeah, there's probably one every 10 feet. But if you could see them, but in our backyards, like they're probably not an alligator in these lakes or nothing. Like how the shows make them out to be in the Gator Boys and stuff. Like we're not out here catching pythons and alligators in our backyard.
They probably aren't aggressive like other people make them out to be either.
Yeah, I mean those I'm sure will take a leg at the Everglades just because they're so trained. Hey, people are feeding me food, but if you fall in the Everglades, like I have my friends swim the Everglades, like they
Wow.
swim. I have videos. I'll send them to you too. I have videos of my friends like losing bets about who catches the smaller fish, the bigger fish, and they have to swim across the whole. And this is like 50 feet like width, like canal. Not me. I would never do that. But down here, alligators are definitely more scared than like than we should be.
Nice.
Yeah. Another funny thing down here, we have a lake near my house. That's the funniest thing. We have a lake near my house, and there's like a 30-inch arowana in that lake.
Nice.
Yeah, so we always, when I was little, we just go down there try to catch it. I have pictures of it too, but down here it's insane. All the different things you see.
Yeah, there's a lot of exotic fish in Florida. Like I've seen pictures of red tails, arowana, pacu.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
iridescent sharks, everything, dude. They
I would love
thrive here.
I would love to go catch a pacu or something in one of those lakes.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've never caught a pacu either, but catching one, I heard it's a fight. Like it's the closest thing to catching like a freaking Goliath grouper or something that you could get in freshwater.
It's true. They're very strong fish.
Yeah, no, that's definitely on my bucket list. You're a little sheltered in Lake Worth from all the insanities that happen in Miami.
Yeah, I'm a little bit far. Not too far. I'm actually coming up to Miami in a couple of weeks.
Okay, yeah. So we could figure something out when
Yeah,
you come down.
definitely.
Show you all the freaking crazy things
Definitely.
about Miami.
We could go fish shopping too.
Yeah, at the farms down there. We're gonna spend a lot of money that weekend.
For sure. Hopefully by then I'll have another tank set up.
Yeah, for sure. Cause do you still have any monster fish in that 75?
Pretty much no. Everything is juvenile right now. I do
Okay.
have fish that will turn into monsters, like the pariah.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
baby shovelnose.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
No. But
my
that
dad.
definitely opens a lot to keep in there.
Yeah, and I've got two fish coming in tomorrow that will turn into monsters.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to spend here to get some more fish for that tank.
Definitely. I got two wild caught silver arowanas coming in tomorrow.
Okay, that's nice. I need to get one soon. That's an arowana.
If
Definitely on my
I
bucket.
do quite, I'll give you one of my arowanas,
All right.
and, and you don't have to pay for it because I know you'll give it a good home.
All right. That sounds good. I always have this pond, and by the time they go out, I'll probably have 1,000-gallon pond set up for them.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
always been a dream of mine to have a pond. Maybe I could work on that sometime soon.
Yeah. Honestly, I built my pond with like 2x4s and just made like the exterior and then put obviously like a tarp and then pond liner. But I think the easiest route now is just getting a pool pond, dude. A Walmart pond pool. It's just it's the most bang for your buck because I put in hours of labor to just for a 600-gallon, and also lumber is ridiculous right now. So, like wood prices. So just if you get a pool pond, set it up with whatever filtration you could get. I mean that's the easy part, but setting that up and finding the space for that's what I'm gonna do next, and you should too.
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about doing a pole pond. It seems like
Yeah,
it'd be the most what's the word? Economic way
yeah,
of doing a pond, or
yeah.
however you pronounce that.
No, it for sure is digging one. Yeah, if you have the land for it, and also like you don't have restrictions on what you could do to your house, but a pool pond is the best. That's what I'll do next. Like one, like the Malone's one. His is super nice. The smaller one.
Yeah, he got some gorgeous fish in there.
Yeah. Have you been there recently?
Back in like April when I had my stimulus come in.
Okay. Wow. That pond is no more. He has like 4 fish in there. All the ones with the eyes sticking out,
The
they
end up
all
with yeah.
they all passed. All of that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, something happened. Like he says someone put something toxic in it or something.
Wow, that happened that predatory too.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I saw. I don't know. I think I watched this video where he posted a video of people coming in and like whatever. But yeah, those are definitely sensitive fish that he was keeping in there. So I'm sure that could happen.
I don't know why people would do that. It's kind of cruel.
Mm, Yeah, no.
People are crazy today.
Yeah, no. That would be my biggest fear, dude. Someone messing with my ponds, my fish, anything like that. Especially running a business like that's so online on the internet. Someone will have it out for them. So yeah, that was messed up.
Definitely. So I'm glad my red tail went to you because I know he's in a great home now, and I made
Yeah,
another awesome fish friend from you.
yeah, no, for sure. I wasn't expect. I didn't know what to expect when. Well, you gave me a great price to start with. Like there was no negotiating. Like you told me the price, I said okay, and then so that there I was like, okay, that's good. The dude's not trying to like scam me, whatever. So we went. I went out there, drove an hour and a half, and I honestly wasn't prepared because I had that 12-inch bucket, and I think it was is like a 13, 14-inch fish. So he was a little. My girl was in the back seat angling the bucket so he could lay down better. She drove in the. I mean, she was in the back the whole drive home, but yeah, definitely easy. Super good. Like the picking it up, putting them in, the price, everything.
Oh,
So whenever you have those fish go out, I'll drive out there whenever. We'll have little deals to make.
awesome.
Yeah,
I know I was working that day. You came to pick him up, and I was worried about missing you, so I told my boss I had an emergency and I had to go.
dude. I honestly figured you were gonna take a little bit, but I was fine, dude. Because I passed by Malone's. I stayed in the area. I'm always in that area, so I stayed in the area. Then I went to Publix and then stopped, used the restroom, and then I was like, whatever. And I still got there before you somehow, and then but you got there right after, and it was easy. I would for that fish I would have waited for a day.
Next time we should go out for like lunch or something.
Yeah, we should honestly passing by Boca Raton for Malone's and Predatories, and then eating somewhere out there. Last time I was there, I ate at Flanagan's, and right next to Malone's. But that would be perfect. Going to Malone's and getting some fish, spending our money, and then spending our money even more on some food.
Nice. Flanagan's is pretty good. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, it's not my go-to, but it was like the closest. Like it was the closest burger place, and I wanted a burger. So, yeah, I also stopped at a Flanagan's. All that before you got home.
Wow.
That was funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that wraps it up.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on today. It was a honor and a privilege to have you on.
No problem, buddy. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. We'll definitely do this again. Anytime you want to come on, just shoot me a message and I'll schedule it.
Yeah, I will.
So before I wrap up our live stream, I would like to remind anybody that is tuned into today's video, you can check out Jacob on TikTok. I have his username right there on the screen for you to check out. So you can either copy and paste that, or you can type it in as it is on the screen. So you can subscribe to him there. And pretty soon, he said I'll have a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Not now, but I'm not gonna say he's gonna have one soon.
No, but hopefully by the end of the year, for sure, I'll have a couple videos up.
Awesome. So once again, Jacob, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. I really had a great time.
Me too. Thank you.
You're welcome. And of course, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's video. We're going to have some more interviews in the future. So if you thought today's was good, wait till what we have in store next. Also, before I end today's show, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Real Alex Cardinale, for more videos like this one. And with that being said, I will see you on the next live stream. Goodbye, everybody.